Check two. Welcome everybody to the Latino Slant. My name is Paulie, and we have a very groovy, very special show. I always want to get into my radio voice and maybe just keep it like this. But in all reality, we do have a very special show. I'm gonna kick it off by playing some incredible music from Joachim Horsley and his orchestra featuring Jen del Tambo y Orito Cantora. This album is just insane, and I don't want to talk too much. Let's just start playing. It's called Colombia Andante. Here we go. Let me see. Okay, can you hear it? Yes. Great. Let me know in the chat how it sounds. And I'll lower it a little bit. Sometimes that digital sound from YouTube is a little funky. And I'm talking over this, Joachim, because it's funny that YouTube will strike my algorithm, because even though this is copyright and you're here, they're still going to copyright it. But listen to this music. Good Lord. So, Joachim is a composer, pianist, and arranger. He recently created the original score for Baker and the Beauty, Disney Channel Big City Greens, Warner Brothers feature film Batman, Soul of the Dragon. Other projects include arranging for the Pet Shop Boys, Michael Bublé, John Legend. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty high level stuff. We got Mr. Horsley here, then we have the VETS here. Beautiful stuff. Enjoy. Cheetah Love 210. Música bonita en Latinoamérica. Tiene mucha riqueza cultural en la música. Absolutely. Absurde. I'm at work. Me too. Thanks for being here. So this is often a full album, which is amazing. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. I know the song, man. Dun, 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 dun. I have a very good musical ear, Mr. Horsley. Dun, 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 dun. So as you can tell, he's mixing classical with Caribbean, and that's what this whole new album is all about. It's really unique. I mean, I don't think it's ever been done before. So links are in the video description box. Enjoy. Beautiful. I see his little Caribbean bracelet too. That means he's like authentic. I'm just jealous, man. I think there's some like spiritual or religious ties to those. I'll ask him about those bracelets. And the album is called Caribbean Nocturnes, and there's one of many tunes. We're gonna play like one or two more, but it's Joachim takes Mendel, Mozart, Beethoven, and throws down with like Caribbean and Latin America. Really, it's Latin. It's just todo Latino America. I mean, gorgeous. What are you laughing at, man? Don't be laughing at me. Laugh with me. Laugh with me, Mister. I'm at work. Okay, we're gonna play the countdown of our show. Here we go.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. The slant?
Yeah, but isn't this the unplugged version? I don't know. I think it's the unplugged version. All right, Paulie, let's go. All right, listen, y'all. Just go ahead and let the guest play. Come on, jeez. That's better. Where'd I go?
I'm like, where am I? Hello, everyone. Paulie back here. And it's not like the official time for the Latino Slant. Hope you're enjoying that music. I got some more music for you. Joachim Horsley is here in the green room along with the gentleman from Basecamp for Vets. So here's what we're doing. We're going to be playing some music. We're going to be hanging out and talking to Joachim. He's a really sweet guy. And I want to like just get real music nerdy on with him, and then I want to bring in the vets, these gentlemen that are part of this nonprofit that they're doing this special concert here in Los Angeles on Veterans Day. So, but listen, we know that you're all over the country and all over the world checking this out, but what you can do is check out the Basecamp for Vets link in the video box description, and then my man Clobbering Times is gonna throw those links out in the chat. So speaking of, I want to give much love to my boy Clobbering Times. He's been here since the beginning of Latino Slant. We're just having a great time, and much love, brother. Thank you for being here. También tenemos un comment from Cheetah Love 210. El sonido Caribe es muy dominante con la música popular de Latinoamérica, por ejemplo, cumbia, salsa, merengue, dembow, y lo más popular, reggaeton. I'm not a big reggaeton fan. Shh. Even though I got all my Caribbean hats. Okay, so here's what I would love for you guys to do. Share the link. Let people know we're here. Let's get you guys are the early birds, all that good stuff. Get on in here. And oh, Joachim. Come on, Brendan. I'm doing my best. Joachim, Mr. Horsley. Sir, a sus órdenes. Man, why is she always trying to bring me down? We have a friend and publicist in the green room, like throwing me like commands. Okay. Let's go on to this next song. This song it says Beethoven in Havana. So that's all I want to say. I want to see if your musical ear can pick up the Beethoven in this. It's yeah, okay, we'll just go with Yo. It's pretty amazing. And again, this is part of his new album. So let's see if we can pick it up. Here we go. Yeah, so Clobberin Time's already picked up on it. Right away, yo. You throw that Beethoven in there. It's so cool how you do it too, sir. Oh my god, it's thrilling. What would this genre of Caribbean song be? If you can put that in the chat for me, Joe, that would be great in private chat. Look who's here. Look who's here, Mexican Iron Man. Wow. The superstar who just left us a super sticker for $10, $9.99. It's like a little person saying thanks. So muchísimas gracias, Mexican Iron Man. Yeah, okay. So it's a rumba, timba from Cuba. The bridge is right here, right? The bridge, chop, two, chop, chop, chop. Oh yeah. See, I know stuff. I know some musical things. You know, one of the questions I want to ask, and I can ask him now, what's the difference between a chamber orchestra and an orchestra? You know, for us, you know, common folk size, chamber small, hence an orchestra in a chamber. Gotcha. That's like medieval, right? Anyways, I'm gonna be quiet. Enjoy it. It's insane how good this is. Ah. Amazing. So yeah, make sure that you guys connect with Yo's make sure you guys connect with Joe's YouTube channel, and we'll play a couple more. We'll play one more in a little while, and then one at the end of the show, one at the very end of the stream. But there's some information right there. All right, I lost it for a second, and there we go. Okay, so I want to say hello to a couple people. We have a super chat, and then once we do that, we're gonna bring in yo, Mr. Horsley, uh, the guy behind this all. So, right, what do we got? What's up, Brian? How you doing, buddy? It's good to see all you guys here. Wonderful, I love it. Cheetah sounds like orchestral salsa. Ooh, I like that. Bonzo El Loco's here. Strike up the band and let's dance. Stop talking. I did. And Shelly Lee's here for $20. Cracking up at your American Spanish accent. Okay, all right. That hey, you paid to make fun of me, so go ahead. Thanks for this. Living the clave always. Hey, I'm from LA, man. I had to tunnel back and relearn my language, which I'm still doing. So, Shelly Lee, Mexican Iron Man, thank you guys so much for the super chats. Every single penny goes a long way. So let's do a musical thanks. I think Joe is going to appreciate this. This is a little where's she at? Where is La Senora? We have these music video. Okay, here we go. We have these video tips. So here you go. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, he's a pianist, he's a composer, creator, musician, and he's got this new album we're playing music from. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Joachim Horsley. Hey!
That's right. Thank you so much. Glad to be here, Paulie.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing wonderfully. Thank you so much for all the nice things you're saying about the music. This is great. This is beautiful.
Well, I mean, you made it easy, sir. It's an incredible album, and honestly, I wouldn't have you on if it was bad.
Oh, thank you. No, I really appreciate it. I appreciate it.
That's so. Brenda's gonna email me right now. What a feat! What a feat! Okay, so tell me about this new album, because it just came out in September. And I don't think I've ever heard anything quite like this.
So thank you.
Give us the ABCs. Yeah.
Here's the ABCs. So it's very simple. It's classical music fused with Afro-Caribbean music. So think Beethoven in Havana, Mozart in Colombia, Mendelssohn in Venezuela. So all these things, all these amazing Afro rhythms from the Caribbean area, these are all kind of cousin rhythms, right? With roots in Africa, and obviously the historical realities created this great African diaspora for us. And we have these incredible rhythms that developed in their own cultures in these different countries. And for me, this I've always loved this music, but my training was classical. And I grew up, my early training was classical. And when I was very young, I had a mom who you could say she liked both styles of music, Mozart and Beethoven, right? This is how limited it was kind of at home. But when I say limited, I say that kind of as a joke, because it was a beautiful gift that she gave me, with so much exposure to this amazing music from the last 700 years in Europe. But so when I first started discovering African music and Caribbean music and Latin music, it was like this naughty escape, and I was transfixed and fascinated. And so as I got to be high school age, I started studying Latin jazz and started really getting into world music. And eventually, as an American, I studied all this music and studied as much jazz as I could. And one thing I picked up on right away is, because of the way kind of jazz is so much of jazz teaching is oral, and some of it's written down, but it's very casual. You could say classical music is like the epitome of the institution of music, right? But so much of the folkloric stuff from the Caribbean is essentially oral. I mean, people are making books, of course, about this, but it's hasn't been codified into a real institution the way classical music was. So as a result, sometimes you meet really professional musicians that don't know the difference between you know, a samba bass line and a bass line from a cha-cha-cha, right? And that's okay because
Right. Like me. Yeah.
well, yeah, but it's okay. But eventually I became kind of obsessed with understanding all these details. So you know, as I moved into becoming an orchestrator and a composer in Hollywood, I really cared a lot about how these things are supposed to be done. And I really made myself like a real student of all the Afro-Caribbean music. And in 2015, while working in LA, I was invited to go to this educational opportunity in Cuba. Basically,
Wow.
I attended a workshop in a Caribbean festival, and it completely changed my life because all this Cuban music that I had studied with great teachers in the U.S., it was like it was all wrong. No, it wasn't like it was all wrong. I understood. I was taught the right things, but the context didn't exist. Right? It's like learning. It's like learning about Renoir from a book as opposed to going back to his time and studying with him directly. You know, it was a totally eye-opening experience, and it made me realize that everything I had done, my orchestration, my engineering, all my work in Hollywood, it was all these skills. I wanted to combine them to make this fusion project because I figured there must be guys like me who are going to love this music, but they really don't have any access to it. Like, you know, I can say as like a guy who's not from a Latino culture, when I go to a music festival and I hear like samba reggae and I have no context for it, it's overwhelming, right? I have no idea where to start with this music. It's like someone giving you a dictionary and saying, this is how you learn English. You know, you can't do it, right? You have to have context. You have to have an access point. So I thought, well, what if I made a project and I combined this music that I love from the classical world and all this other music that's supposed to be so different from the Afro-Caribbean world and mix it together in a way that gives everybody an entrance point. So if you come from the classical world, maybe you hear this album and you go, oh, wow, check it out. I could be curious about what's rumba, what's cumbia, what's Afro-Colombia, what are these things? And I hope that the project really leads people to discover these new things. At the end of the day, that's what makes me happy, is discovering new kinds of music, discovering new people who do this music to teach me, collaborate with me. So I don't know. To me, it's like the fountain of youth. I can be a little boy and just play with all these like incredible styles and all these things that inspire me every day. So I just
And guess incredible artists too.
Yes, exactly. So what happened with this project after I got back from Cuba in 2015, that piece you just heard, Beethoven in Havana, that started as
let's
piano.
talk about this one. Let's talk about this one. Yeah.
So thank you. Yeah, the original version of this was just me in my house with my piano. And exactly. I didn't have a band. I didn't have an orchestra for sure. And all I knew was I understood rumba and I wanted to see if I could do this fusion in kind of my own way. So I used the piano as a percussion instrument, right? I like the bridges of the piano that make a tone like tung, 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 that rumba melody. I performed it on the bridges of the piano and tweaked it with EQ in the studio and just basically made a simulated rumba band out of my piano, and bit by bit learned the part. You know, I was like listening to the way Chucho Valdez plays piano, and of course I knew how to play montunos and things like that, but timba frankly was like super new to me because when I went to Cuba, I vaguely had this idea that I want to do like a Beethoven mambo, and I met the guys from this timba band Climax, and they were like, bro, timba, and that is like the modern, you know, you could say it's like the son of salsa, right? Timba music. It's the Cuban music that's played in Cuba and around the world, but is like the modern arrangements. And I hadn't really had a lot of experience with timba, but I loved it, and I understood kind of the roots, the rumba roots and the son montuno roots, and I kind of just did my best to make this like trial balloon, if you could say, for Beethoven event. It was like this big test, and I made this YouTube video. Like a lot of musicians are like, hey, let's make a YouTube video and see if anyone watches it. And that's essentially what I did.
It's here on your page. It's
exactly.
Right here, right?
So
No, no,
Well,
where's
no,
that?
that's Mountain King Cha-Cha. It's one of the older videos. Keep scrolling down. I'll point it out to you.
Because
Um,
you guys gotta hit his channel. It's wild what he does with his with his
there you
piano.
go. Beethoven and Vanna right there.
Aquí, yeah, yeah. Here we
Yeah,
go.
exactly. So this is the original version. It's just me on my piano,
Okay.
and all the other sounds you hear are also the piano. See, I'm using mallets on the bridges of the piano to play the kata
Sick.
rhythm, and I'm simulating conga and other different parts of the rumba ensemble. And this is Beethoven's Seventh. So I took the rhythm of this sorrowful piece and
Oh,
arranged it with this different rhythm to work in a rumba. And you got the clave there, and then the brushes. I'm doing kind of a light version of the kata rhythm from the rumba ensemble.
so cool, man.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, and I got the bass line. This is like a timba style bass line. It's like
Right.
salsa with
What's
funk,
that
right?
bass? What's that bass?
That bass, that is from the piano. So I used the kind of mutes a piano tuner uses. You see that right there? Those are
Yeah.
those mutes. When you add them in a certain way, it sounds like a acoustic bass, but it has a
Wow.
little bit more attack. So you can
Yeah.
kind of make an aggressive sound, but it's kind of a studio trick to make a bass. Here it comes again.
Ah.
Exactly. So that's just an overdub with
Right.
mutes
Sure.
on the piano.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. You're just overdubbing yourself, right?
Exactly. There's like 8 different parts here.
Amazing. Amazing. So what's the response been to Caribbean Nocturnes? Because to me it's
Yeah.
like one of those like you said, it can be like a gateway drug into Latino music, like maybe back in the day when Linda Ronstadt did mariachi, or it's like it's
Right.
almost not just for Latinos, it's like for everyone.
Thank you for saying that. I really want my music to be for everybody. I think that's exactly everyone, young, old, from everywhere around the world. I tried to make something that would invite you in. That's really what I wanted. So obviously, I stayed mostly with the classical melodies that are very popular. Because I figure even if you're not a classical music fan, surely you can recognize it because these themes are everywhere, right? We hear classical music all the time in one way or another. It's in our society, and some more than others. But certainly you'll recognize the Beethoven stuff, you'll recognize the Mozart stuff, and these are beautiful, dramatic melodies. So when you mix it with the Caribbean rhythms, it requires a change of the rhythm of the melody, right? Because the Mozart stuff, for example, is it's very on the beat, and all the Latin music or the Caribbean music, it's syncopated, it's organized around the clave, which I think you know what that means, but maybe I should explain that in case some listeners don't know. But basically, this rhythm, which we hear in salsa music, that exists in all the Afro rhythms in the Caribbean in one way or another. Sometimes you don't hear it explicitly, it's just implied. But we know this rhythm goes back to Africa. It gets a little fuzzy as we get further into history because things weren't written down and we don't know exactly. But what we do hear is when we listen to all the music from Angola, from Congo, from the Yoruba people, and what's really fascinating to me is this clave concept. It was always there. So the clave is older than classical music. You know what I mean? It's like we think of the classical music as the old thing and the Latin music as the newer thing. But clave is actually eternal. There's another so many amazing things, and
you're absolutely
like I said,
right. You're absolutely right, and both are. Like, I'm glad you said that because both are elevated, right? Because there's been that mindset for centuries that native music wherever it's from is beneath. That's great. I'm glad you pointed that out. Yeah.
The funny thing is, so my concert, it's just like a big family reunion. It's like the human family reunion, right? So it's all of us, all the Caribbean cousins coming together with the classical guy, that's me, but I'm like just a further distant cousin because we're still all cousins. And what's interesting is when I find this to be super, super, super interesting is that the music of Europe has its basis in kind of you could say the Christian church of Europe. So the
Sure.
harmonies and the melodies of Mozart and Bach, it really comes from the Christian church. So if you think about it, you've got harmonies supporting a melody that's like really high, reaching up to a God that they imagine in heaven. That's the background. That's the sort of, you could say, religious background of the music. On the other hand, with African religions, let's say like Yoruba, when the Yoruba people were taken to Cuba and they mixed their religion with Catholicism, they created Santeria. And in this religion, the deities are in the ocean and the earth. So the way they connect with their deities is by dancing with their feet, of course, and improvisation on a low drum. So in a certain way, the spiritual background of classical music is kind of looking towards heaven, and the spiritual background of the Caribbean music is looking down towards the earth and the sea. So you have these really different, it's not like mixing just genres. I mean, it is, of course, mixing genres, but I like to think about the deep spiritual background that people are mixing when you mix this music. To me, that's really, really fascinating, because you have like different outlooks on reality, right? Like your religious outlook is your framework for the afterlife and your spiritual existence, and how you go through the day, how you look at the world. And to merge these together is kind of like, is really the exercise. And I find it really interesting that we can put these things juxtaposed in one musical context. And, you know, as a composer and an arranger, you're always looking for contrast, right? So this is like the ultimate, you know, contrast, if you will, right? So you're looking for like these different spiritual experiences. So to me, that's kind of what like where I see all this stuff, you know, and putting it together. I want people to have this kind of like this mix in their mind when they're hearing it, because you really can kind of feel like you've got different perspectives coming together. That's kind of what I like to see in the arrangements, you know?
I mean, how exciting is what we just heard, guys, in the chat. I know they're going off in the chat. People, I think we have Sander who's talking about who is his Keith Emerson. What else did he say? Ravel.
Mussorgsky,
I love that, because it also too it kind of explains a little bit about your bracelets. Where'd you get those from?
Oh, okay. So yeah, these bracelets. So actually, you know, I always change the bracelets for the videos and the concerts. And it's funny, the ones I'm wearing right now, these were made by my friend Orito, who is become a dear friend, and she was the one playing maracas in the first video you saw, and she's from Barranquilla, Colombia. She and her musical partner Jen are guests in the show we have on Friday the 11th. They're my Colombian guests. This is the first time they're ever appearing in Los Angeles. And I think
we're gonna try to make it, brother.
Please come. Oh, please come. It's good. It's really going to be special. And when I know everyone says it about the show, but we have people who are coming from two amazing musicians from Martinique, my Congoleros from Venezuela, and the two Colombians that are coming in. This is the first time this group has organized, because keep in mind, we recorded this album in the pandemic. Okay, we were all over the world. We recorded in different countries. It was recorded in something like 6 to 8 different countries. I lost count, because we've got some people in France, some people in Colombia, some people in the US, of course. The orchestra was in LA and Miami. So we were going all over the place. We did what all musicians had to do, record totally remotely. So this is the first time we've gotten a chance to get together to perform this music. So the energy is super amazing. I'm actually talking to you from the Village Studio in LA. We just recorded a new song that we're going to play. This is the Barber Seville theme that we're doing in a compa zouk mashup style, because we have an amazing, we have this amazing Haitian drummer named Jeff Pierre, who's going to join us on Friday. And we've got this amazing drummer from Martinique named Boris Ren Adelaide.
Showing off, man. Now you're just showing off.
I'm just excited. I'm like, it's like I walked out of a meth lab. I'm so happy around these people because they're so incredible. They're so incredible, you know. I don't do meth. Man. I'm just saying that's what it feels like. It's what, I think it feels like.
You know, I got 7 years sobriety, man. I can't say I don't know what that's like.
But you know, it is the ultimate natural high, because
it's a natural high. They
are bringing these amazing things. So so I'm really excited, obviously.
Mexican Ironman for $4.99, who's bummed he can't make the concert because he's coming to LA in a few weeks. Where's the link so I can buy this music? iTunes?
You can find it on iTunes, all the streaming services. You can buy it on iTunes if you want to get the MP3. If you want to get the CD itself, you just find that link through my social media or on my website. And that's joachimhorsley.com, or you can find me on Instagram. It's Instagram/Joachim Horsley. All my links are there, like everyone else, in the bio.
Sure. Do you have it with Amazon? Is it on CD? And do you sell those in person?
Yes, we do have CDs. In fact, I have the CDs. I will have CDs at the show, of course.
Okay.
And I'll be happy to sell those and autograph them as well.
Okay.
Yep.
So members, hit your Slantino emojis right now. I'm going to purchase a few, and we're going to have Mr. Horsley sign them. And the first one, the first one that I see with the Slantino emoji, and then give me one of the classics that he just talked about, that he mixes that music in. You're gonna get a free CD. We'll get it. So let's play one more song a little bit, but I want you with me, and then we're gonna bring in the vets, the
Great.
Basecamp for vets. The gentlemen have been here.
Yep.
And we just had an election, and we live in a free society, and we can do these things because of these gentlemen and women, men and women. So yeah, this is very special, guys. This is very, very special. You guys, you're doing a big concert this week, this Veterans Day for them.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh, maybe I can say something about this piece before you play it real quick. Would that be okay?
Oh man, this song is wild. Yes, please.
So I'm always looking for new ways to do the fusion. And of course, most of the time I'm arranging a classical composer with a Caribbean rhythm. In this case, we made an exceptional choice because I met this classical singer from the Caribbean. This is Janine DeBeek, who joined us as a special guest. And she's from Trinidad, but she is a strictly classical musician. And I wrote her a letter when I was doing this album, and I explained the project and what I'd like to do. And while she was in town at the Hollywood Bowl, we had a dinner, and I tried to explain to her that I wanted to write a song just for her, kind of like a Caribbean aria. And at the time, I knew the poem, but I did not know what the music was going to sound like. And this poem by Felix Morosol Leroy called Testament, it's a somewhat famous Haitian poem. With Haitians, it's not well known outside of Haiti, I don't think. But essentially, the poem says, when I die, le mori means when I die. And the idea is, when I die, it's going to be on my own terms. I don't have a priest whisper in my ear. Don't be sad and dress in black, blah, blah, blah. I want you to be singing and dancing. And the refrain is, where people are free, that's where you'll remember me. And this beautiful poem really resonated to me, and I approached Janine. I said, basically, look, Janine, you have an amazing career as a classical singer. I have a wild card project that I'd really love you to be part of, because we're trying to do this fusion. And she was amazing. We recorded during COVID. We did the recording actually while she was stranded in Switzerland and I was in LA. Wow. We did the recording remotely. We found a studio in Switzerland that had, COVID protocols and brought her in. And then a year later, that was in 2020. And then in 2021, obviously we were still dealing with COVID, but I was able to get to Paris and we organized a shoot in this theater that had no business because they had no shows. This is in a theater called Le Trianon in Paris. And so we all got together and we had exactly 6 hours to shoot this video with Janine, and we reperformed it. And it was a real moment. And, everyone on my team, this was like a true, poor man's production, because we had our set design, costume designer the night before. He stayed up all night to sew her dress. And we did all these things. And we wanted to create this concept, like the poem is being sung by this woman who's on her deathbed, and everyone else is kind of like the family who doesn't know what to do. And she comes out and she says, hey, don't worry. Don't do any of the traditional things when I die. Just be happy. Where people are free, that's where you'll remember me. And that's the concept behind Le Mori.
Okay, well, let's play it. Great intro. And anytime you want to say anything.
Cool.
I mean, the filmmaking too of this video. Great job.
Thank you. It's my director DP is Harold Escotet. He's actually a Venezuelan living in Spain who joined us from Spain. And I saw a documentary he shot a long time ago that I wrote some music for. And ever since then, I said, we've got to work together sometime because he's such a talented guy. And I love the way he shot her. And Janine just ate the camera. She did such a great job.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah, she's one in a million.
Stunning. Absolutely stunning. And then, of course, her voice.
Yeah. The way she does this verse.
What's that register? Like, what's her register? She's like what is that? What is she considered again?
She's a lyric soprano, and yeah, she's a soprano for sure. So, but I love the way she sounds.
Yep.
She yeah, I saw a video of her singing Mozart in a church for some documentary on YouTube, and I was like, that's it. That's who we need, because she's so smooth up top, and I just knew it was the right vibe. Because, you know, the thing is about this fusion is I always think about the XFL. Remember the XFL when they mixed pro wrestling and football, and it was a total disaster? This is like a very important lesson for us fusion musicians, because they kind of took like the worst of both things.
Oh my God.
I mean, I kind of liked it, but I knew why it failed. Yeah. And so here you really want to take the best of both things, because you have to be very careful how you organize the fusion, right? Oh, thank you very much. And shalala. I appreciate it.
And the shalala.
But yes,
yeah, people are loving it.
That's awesome. Well, thank you. Yeah. So to me, I have to say, every single piece I've ever written, if I could, I'd go back and change something, with the exception of that song. That song is like if I leave this earth tomorrow, I just want people to hear that song. That's it. I mean, that's for me, and that's really because just the meeting with Janine was really special. And you know, she's gone on. Has an amazing career, mostly in Europe, and so yeah, thanks for taking an interest in that one. That one's a real special exception. It's like it's kind of it's sort of the wild card on the album. Like I said, it's a little different than everything else.
Yeah, yeah, it works. It worked. And I
Thank you.
again, guys, I highly recommend the album. You got the links. They're in the video box. Also, too, let's start maybe shifting gears a little bit
Please.
and talk about the live event because
Yeah.
it's all this music and all your guests, and it's hosted by an actor director. Huh?
Yeah, Jon Huertas is hosting. You might know him from This Is Us. He's an amazing actor, and he introduced me to this incredible charity, Basecamp for Veterans. And
Mm,
I'm sure they can describe it better than I can, but I think what they do is really, really incredible. And we're having a silent auction for Basecamp,
mm, mhm.
um, and I'll let them describe exactly what they do. But I'm really excited that they're on board, and we're going to have a super fun thing. We have amazing things in the silent auction. Let me just say,
Mhm.
Orito, my friend Orito, who I mentioned earlier, she makes custom handmade maracas from Colombia. And she
Hmm.
made a pair specifically for the auction. So it's like one of a kind piece of art. And when you Colombian maracas are these big, fat balls, you could say, that they're
Yeah.
played in a certain way. And she'll demonstrate that. And she made a special pair. And there's also other things like you see in other silent auctions, balloon rides and trips and
Ooh.
Airbnb, stuff like that. So all sorts of fun stuff. But there's some custom art from the animation I work on, Big City Greens. Chris Houghton, who created the show and is the voice of Cricket on Big City Greens, the Disney Channel show, he made a custom piece of art that we're going to auction off.
Oh yeah,
So
really
yeah,
quick too. You
yeah.
you you worked on Batman.
I worked on Batman Soul of the Dragon, which is an Warner's animated Batman. It's kind of an otherworld Batman. So this is like Batman mixed with Bruce Lee. It was a kung fu movie, and we did. This was a project in the middle of 2020 in COVID. I
Wow.
actually used the same band that I used on the album because I was working on the album at the same time.
Uh-huh.
And all these guys, we were all locked home because there were no gigs, right? So I said, hey, can we find a way to record remotely? And so everybody scrambled to buy microphones and mixers for their laptops, and we recorded this whole score for Warner Brothers
Wow.
basically remotely. The rhythm section was in France. I did the strings here. We all did a string recording in masks in a small studio. It was crazy because no one had done any recordings for film scores like this. We were always in the same room, but we pulled it off. And yes, that was a
That's
crazy
cool.
COVID project.
I bring it up because we have a lot of DC and Marvel nerds in our chat as well, the stuff we love.
Great. Well, now
And
you
I
got
when
one
I
more.
saw that
Cool.
credit, I was like, I got to bring it up. Okay,
Yeah. Tell me.
let's talk about Basecamp for Vets, and we have two gentlemen that are with us. We have their website here, and mission and history. I like this right here. Our mission to respond to the needs of those who serve our nation to protect its values by promoting personal and professional growth and contributing to an effective, sustainable path towards reintegration. And I believe they're doing this via for lack of better words, a ranch and with vets and their families. However, I that's I want these gentlemen to talk about it. We have two gentlemen here. We have Mr. Brian Krupa. He's a retired petty officer for the United States Navy. He served in the Gulf War in Somalia in support of UNISOM and a number of other conflicts around the globe. After being honorably discharged in 1997, he obtained an associate degree in criminal justice, security, bachelor's in science, criminal justice administration. Um, he has assisted in fundraising efforts for the Wounded Warrior Project, most recently completing the Basecamp Veterans Pilot Program. I'm going to let him explain that as well. He's part of the board of directors. Okay. Now, also too, we're going to bring in Felipe Gonzalez, who is a retired United States Marine Corps from 2008 to 2012. He was an infantry rifleman, 3rd Battalion, 1st Marines. He was deployed to Helmand Province, Afghanistan, 2010. Operation Enduring Freedom. Um, security operations around Africa, Middle East, and Asia. It is an absolute honor to bring these gentlemen in. And this is what this whole concert is for. On Veterans Day, we have Brian and Philippe. Hello.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, everybody. The music was very nice, by the way, Joachim.
Yeah, amazing. I was. I haven't heard that kind of an arrangement since Metallica hooked up with a orchestra and was blown away. I mean, that's stuff there, brothers. That's some fusion. That's amazing stuff. Great job.
Oh, thank you guys so much, and thanks so much for being part of this show. I'm so excited that we're doing this. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we thank you. I mean, Basecamp for Veterans is fairly new. We started in 2018, and just to get our name out there and get our recognition and the things that we're doing as an organization, we just appreciate that you guys are doing this for us.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you're part of it. I didn't want to describe what you do because I thought you would do it better than I would. I'd love to hear how you describe what you do for everybody.
No problem. So, Paulie, thank you for showing that part in the website there. That's the most important aspect of our program. Reintegration for veterans coming back from combat, coming back to the civilian life. You've all heard the statistics of what veterans are going through and suicide rates and things like that. And our program is designed to bring veterans and their families, which we're unique in that aspect. We bring them all out to a ranch in Tucson, Arizona. The ranch is called White Stallion Ranch. I call it a little slice of heaven on earth. Just an amazing place, family owned. It's just it's one of a kind. It's a dude ranch out in the middle of Tucson. But anyway, we bring veterans and their families there for a full week. We pay for everything. The veterans spend a large portion of their time there at the ranch, off-site working with wild Mustangs, training wild Mustangs. So it's equine therapy based, which if you've ever been around horses or dealt with horses, they're an amazing creature. They're I like to call them mirrors to our souls. When you work with them, depending on how you're doing that day, that horse will let you know exactly where you're at and what's going on with your life. So we spend time with those Mustangs. Groundwork is very important. There's therapy sessions, and then the families stay at the ranch. They have their own activities, and it's been an amazing ride, I should say. Since 2018, we put 5 classes through. 20 veterans have gone through the program, all their family members, and we've grown from a small community to a very large community in a short period of time. I was lucky enough to be picked to be in the pilot program when we first began, and Philippe was one of the veterans that joined me, and he's a brother of mine for forever. Him and I are locked and bonded forever. But it's just an amazing organization. It was so good to me that I asked after the program to be involved, and they said, sure, why don't you join the board? So I'm on the board of directors. I'm actually last year was put on as chairman of the board.
Wow, and, look at you.
It's just it's awesome to see the growth that's happened, but having you guys do this for us is just an amazing thing. And I'll quit talking here and let Philippe tell you his story and what he went through. But
yeah,
that's all about.
Absolutely. And it's again, like I said, it's an absolute honor for the Latino slant to support this 100%. And Philippe, tell us about your hands-on experience with this, and thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, what really hit it home was just a few months ago we had a reunion with all the classes. And so I remember the first time we all got together, it was just 4 vets, family, real small, trying to figure it out. This last one, I mean, we had, I don't even know how many people there, but it was just packed. I was like, is everybody with us? And they're like, yeah. And it was just amazing to see the spouses be involved, the kids be involved, building friends. You know, mine and Brian's daughters, they talk all the time. You know, it's really nice. It's a second family when you're coming back from service. You know, it's you're just shot out into the world, and you lose that sense of community that we had when we were in, when that's all we had was each other. No matter where you go or what you do, you got each other against the world. And having that family, that familia come back, you know, is very nice, and extended family with everybody involved, and the true family that runs the ranch, and the cooks that help with the dream horse, you know, the therapy there, and everybody involved. It's just it's amazing, and really helped out.
Philippe, what was one of your favorite exercises or activity to do there, like that surprised you? You know, like maybe you picked it up, I don't know what, but you know, I'm just curious.
The first, yeah, no worries, Paulie. Yeah, the Jeff, he's a horse trainer. He won't say it, but we call him a horse whisperer. He doesn't believe in that though. But the first thing we did is we get there with these Mustangs. Blackjack, who's like 2 weeks off of the ranges up in, I think, Nevada. And so he's a fresh wild Mustang. And so we get there, and Jeff says, all right, go in. And I was like, well, what are we supposed to do? He's like, I don't know, you'll figure it out. And during that time, though, he's talking to us and showing us things. And it was really cool just to get thrown into it. And you just got to lead with your gut. Yeah, it's one thing that we did very well while we were in. Then you get out and you get kind of like, oh, am I supposed to do that? Am I not? So it felt good to just get thrown into a situation and have to adapt on the fly. And that was really cool.
I mean, before this, are you from like a ranch or like a desert? You know what I'm saying? Like, or were you an urban guy? And you know, because Tucson's beautiful. You know, is it a welcoming space, that ranch, that place? Is it sacred? I mean, how was it for you?
Yeah, it was it's a very amazing place. I grew up in Southern Arizona. I still live here, came back.
Okay.
Yeah, just outside Nogales in Patagonia, Arizona,
wow.
up in the mountains is where I grew up. And my family, yeah, my mom's side has a ranch north of White Stallion Ranch that's been there for about 100 years or so. And so I have a little bit with horses and animals. And so that was pretty cool. And yeah, so I'm born and raised in Southern Arizona, Tucson as well as home. And yeah, beautiful mountains, beautiful areas, saguaros, they're all everywhere. Very nice.
Brian, this is beautiful. This is fantastic. You know, I can see why you wanted to become and stay on as a chairman of the board. What's the next step? Like, what's future plans?
Well, we're still we used to only do one class a year. We've since upped that to 2 classes a year. So we'll meet out twice out at the ranch. So it's all about growth. We've started working on programs inside of Basecamp, mentoring programs. A lot of our veterans are in different stages of their lives. So for me, I got out in 1997. I got college degrees. I've got a couple successful businesses. I've got some things, and I didn't even think I needed the experience. But once I got there and had that experience, I knew that this was going to be part of my life forever, that I was going to make sure that this organization specifically spent the majority of the funds that we get are all for the veterans and all are used just specifically for this program. So our number one goal right now is just to get awareness of our program and get it out there. And this is, this is fantastic for us. But I just look forward every year to seeing more and more of it. Like Philippe was saying, I think we're pushing close to 50, 60 people at this last reunion.
Wow.
And, we start out with 4 in our families, and
wow.
it's, I'd love in, 5-10 years from now to have to fill a banquet hall with people, and just, so it's all about growth for us. It's about awareness. They're doing the silent auction there at the it's up and running right now. So if people want to check that out, that helps us out tremendously.
Where can people check that out?
You should have a link in your descriptions there, or they can probably get that on our Instagram or our website.
Okay, well, if we can't get it right now, we'll get it.
Here it is.
Send me a private chat. Yeah, talk to us about this. Okay, got it. All right, I'm gonna share this. Wait, let me copy and paste. I'm a one-man band, Mr. Horsley. I mean, come on, put me in, coach. I can do it all.
You got it, Paulie.
Okay, let me see. Beautiful. And yeah, and just let me know where you want me to go with this. Guide me through this a little bit.
I don't know if you mean me, but I can quickly say that
anyone.
I'll just say real quick. First of all, thank you, Philippe and Brian. Thank you for your service. I love Basecamp for vets. It's amazing what you guys are doing, and the equine therapy is incredible. I hope we raise as much money as possible. So we put in all sorts of things that are really special that you can't see anywhere else. You can get a music lesson with me if you like, if that matters to you. That's one thing. There's all sorts of really cool things. I want to point out just a few of them. The maracas, the Oritos maracas, you can see on the screen right there at the top left. Yep, those are handmade from Colombia, one of a kind. You will not find that anywhere else, and it is made with love. I can definitely say that. Other thing I wanted to mention is it's a personal item. My wife and I have a cabin. Actually, it's actually sort of a farmhouse, we call it, in Arrowhead, and we run it as an Airbnb.
Okay.
And so that's one of the items you can bid on. It's an Airbnb, 2 nights at a beautiful Airbnb for a bunch of things. In addition, this is something I hope that you guys can enjoy. This is my wife's whole business, and she was very kind to donate 2 nights. And thanks, Lisa Perry.
Gracias, Lisa.
Gracias, Lisa. And then don't forget about other things. White Stallion Ranch stay for 4 in Tucson, Arizona. Certificate for 4 guests for a 3-night stay, full American package at the White Stallion Ranch in Tucson, Arizona. Includes lodging, meals, and horseback riding. I mean, this is amazing. So I would want to do that. You can see those cute little drawings there. That's Chris Houghton's Big City Greens original art. Again, that's a one-of-a-kind item. The creator of the Disney show, it's actually a hit Disney show, Big City Greens.
Wow, yeah.
Lots of kids around the world like this show. And Chris is an amazing guy, and I asked him to do an original drawing for the auction. I work for Chris. I write music for his show, and so he was happy to do it. This is like, he was the guy who drew the original characters. He's the showrunner, Chris, and his brother Shane. So that's an original piece of art you can bid on, one of a kind collector's item. So there's all sorts of things you can't find anywhere else, and there's lots of things that are unusual and cool that you can browse through this thing. I highly recommend bidding. I think we're going to close right after the concert, so you can come to the concert and fight it out in the intermission. But obviously, it's all about raising money for Basecamp for vets. It's all about the vets that night. And, I hope we raise a lot of money. And I'm sure it's okay if for whatever reason you'd prefer to just give a donation straight to Basecamp. I'm sure
getting
that
the Dodger stuff. That's all I got to say.
yeah, that can be arranged too. So
all this beautiful stuff, right? I go right for the sports.
Hey, I'm with you, man. I'm all for it. So that's great.
Where did you guys get all these different things? This is awesome.
Some of the items are graciously provided by Lauren, who put together the auction. She runs charity auctions today, so she included some of these awesome things like the LA Dodgers stuff. She spiced it up, and we kept, we included some of the personal items that I mentioned. But yeah, there's something for everyone. There's a lot.
It really is.
There.
Look at all this.
Yeah.
So you were really a part of this, huh, Joe?
Well, I did my best to be part of it. I mean, I'm just so happy these guys are involved. My dad's an Army vet. So as soon as Jon Huertas suggested Basecamp, I was like, absolutely. My dad can't be there because of health complications, but he was really, really touched that we're going to do it. So Veterans Day is a big deal in my family. So I'm really happy we get to do this. So thanks, guys.
Same.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And I can't think of a better way to spend my Veterans Day than to be there with you guys in LA. So I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Yeah, it's really an honor. So thanks, guys.
So here's the link. The link has been in the chat. Yeah, my love, you did miss the music.
It's all right. It's always there on the internet.
Yeah.
Go for it.
And you can always replay it. We are knee deep in talking about this big concert this Friday night here in Los Angeles. Anyone on the internet can come and hit this silent auction for the next couple of days.
If you can't make the show, you can still win the items. It's a totally online auction. So if you're hearing this outside of LA and you can't make it, you can still bid and you can still win the items. So don't hesitate.
That is really awesome, by the way. Yeah, thank you guys for your support and everything. This concert, I mean, wow, this is really awesome, and
we're really thrilled. We're super thrilled. I just want to say one more time, just in case anybody missed it, the time and place. Neuhaus, 7:30 p.m. is the doors, 8 p.m. is the show. We're doing 2 sets. The intermission is the time to check out the silent auction items that will be on display, or pictures of the items that can't be there on display, but everything's there, and you can do all that. And of course, the guys from Basecamp, you can meet them, right? And we can talk. And then, so yeah, that's it, man. Just come on down. It's going to be a beautiful night. Lots of Caribbean classical fusion, some amazing musicianship from around the Americas. I think you're going to love it.
Gentlemen, is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, just once again, thank you for doing this for us and getting our name out there. And that I can tell you right now, that White Stallion Ranch steak that'll blow your minds. Whoever gets that, they'll want to keep coming back. That place is, like I said, heaven on earth. So
wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Next time, the next event, maybe you guys should both come out there and check it out.
Oh, I'd love to.
Well, I got family there, and they were bothering us to come for Thanksgiving. I was recently in Phoenix with them, but I know the terrain down there. It's just gorgeous. But that's thrilling, man. That's just really thrilling. All right on. There's all the information, guys.
So
something's misspelled.
So in the live events, you're missing the C at the beginning of Caribbean Nocturne.
Okay.
No worries.
I had to type that myself, so that goes to show you there.
Okay, I know. I've only typed that 100 times in the last 48 hours, so I get it. I totally understand. But yeah, in Caribbean Nocturnes, You'll find it there. If you can, so yeah, just go grab the tickets. And if you're a vet or you got a vet in your family, you can bring them for free. Just let us know. Send a quick email through the Eventbrite page, and they're on the list. All you got to say is, "My relative's a vet" or "My friend's a vet," and they're on the ticket. Easy as that.
My noisy dogs came in, and like the wind, they're gone. And he's got a squeaker in his mouth.
That's what that's.
I love it. I love it.
Amazing.
Well, gentlemen, it's pretty special what you guys are a part of, and if there's anything in the future that the Slant can do, just hit me up. Literally, hit me up. Don't hit me. Hit me up.
You're part
Thank
of the
you
family.
so much.
You're part of the family now. That's what we were talking about. That's what we build. We're building a community, and you're part of it now. I appreciate that.
Well, Brian, I hope you're going to be there Friday.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I'm going to talk to the missus. I mean, just Mr. Horsley's. I mean, this the live sets. How long are the sets?
So we'll do 2 sets of about 45 minutes. So we got 45-minute set,
Wow.
and we'll take a little break, check out the silent auction, get a little water, do a yoga stretch backstage, and then we're back on for 45 more minutes.
Very nice.
What should we I said I was going to play one more of your videos. Is there one that you want us to play?
Yeah, well, let's go with Mountain King Cha-Cha. Do you have access to that?
Yeah, I mean, we're here on YouTube. Is that cool?
All right. So yeah. If you Mountain King Cha-Cha, this is in the Hall of the Mountain King. The one that everyone knows. Dun 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 dun. Done with a cha-cha-cha, and we'll definitely be playing this on Friday night. But this will give you a good sense of this is the orchestra, and it's not much. This one's not much to explain. It is exactly what you think it's going to be with the title.
Oh, it's so cool. It's so cool, guys. All right, everyone. I'm going to let you guys go. Philippe, Brian, God bless.
Thank you.
Much love.
I'll see you Friday.
Can't wait to see you guys Friday. Awesome.
Much love, everybody. Don't forget, links are in the video description. I am wild about this album. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend, if you can, donating on any level to Basecamp for Vets. There's no higher calling. And these gentlemen, they need our full support, and this is a little way we can help them out. This is killer. Get me back in it. Nice. So that's a breakdown, right? You get all noisy, big crescendo, and it goes like literally back to the beat and just piano. It's like it's like him singing with his keys. It's like him singing. And then the badass. Hey, it's almost got that. Hey, how you doing? Yo, yeah, I love it. Production, man. Oh, and then look that's a beat change. What is that? Bimba. Sick. Oh, nice key playing. Yeah, he's all right. Beautiful. Chow, Chung Wee. Old Cuban style. Salsa funk. Yeah, real funky, man. Sick. Where's my hat? Wait till you see this, Joe. Fellas. I'm known for my hats, guys. Ooh. Okay, guys. New videos up every day. I will be hitting tomorrow out of the theater right after Wakanda Forever, Black Panther. Gonna get my out of the theater review for better for worse. I got my ticket. All kinds of guests. Just hit your alerts. Let people know that we're around. And you know, I say wherever you're at, keep your slant fuerte. Fuerte means strength. It means you're you know who you are. Wherever you're at, keep it strong. So I just wanna say much love. If you are a member of the channel, you're going to see your name. We have new closing credits. Take care, everybody. Paz. So yeah, this is what happens, Joe, when we play your music too much. See, we're still live, but YouTube ended it.
Got it.
They ended the stream. So if you go on YouTube, we'll come back on and we'll say goodbye. But it says stream unavailable, stream suspended for policy violations.
Okay. All right. I get it.
Yeah,
well,
I played too much music, and that's why it says like I should stop and talk, but it's like we get all but let me see if it. Hopefully, it's just a.
All right.
Interrupted. Okay. Well, I'm gonna end the stream.
Okay. Peace, man. Thank you.
All right. Let me see.